Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Zach Brunner here with Flurry Sports, and I'm here to help make you some money. Well, I would like the money, but I'm just here sharing it with you as well. So let's make some money together. I love me some touchdown parlays. Just a couple weeks ago, I hit one for plus 6,819. It was big, it was beautiful, it was just fantastic. But this week, we're gonna top it. We're gonna get something bigger, better. We're gonna get a nice payout to go into the bye week season of NFL where all the craziness happens with fantasy football. So let's capitalize with sports betting right now. Also, I heard Mercury's in retrograde. I'm not sure what that means, but I think it means we're going to make some money this weekend. Basically, what I like to do with these touchdown parlays, I take the people who, in my personal opinion, are sure bets. Let's stack them up. Boom, boom, boom. These guys are going to fall into the end zone. Maybe their odds aren't great, but if we string enough of them together, we're going to be hitting nice. And then out of left field, we're going to go with a long shot who I believe has some, really high upside this week. And that's where the value with this parlay comes in. So let's start with the easy ones. Okay, so when I say we're going to start easy, I do mean super easy. We'll start with Derrick Henry. He plays the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. Urban may not even be able to call defenses with two fingers up that girl's butt. I mean, they're going to be a complete disaster. Jaguars suck. We know that. Just the individual odds on Derrick Henry is minus 250 to score a touchdown. Seems super easy. Jags have already surrendered 5 rushing touchdowns to running backs this season. He's scored at least 1 touchdown in 4 of his past matchups with Jacksonville. Lock this one in. Don't worry about it. Especially in a bounce back week for the Titans, this seems super easy. By the way, I'm placing these all at Bovada. The link's in the bio. If you don't have a Bovada account, I think it's smart to have one. They are one of the few books who are going to let you link all of these touchdowns together for a touchdown parlay. I like the odds. They have a cool prop builder over there. Just go sign up over there and you can make money with me on this parlay this weekend. The next one, who I guess technically should be viewed as the next easiest, as the next worst odds, I guess, minus 167 is Davante Adams at the Cincinnati Bengals. Adams has been weirdly quiet this year, I would say. And obviously, as a Packer fan, I've watched every snap. He was the reception leader heading into week 5. So it's not like he's been non existent. He's been fantastic. He's been unguardable. To be completely honest, the Packers could do whatever they want, whenever they want with him. They just don't. But this week, the Packers defense is a mess. They just put Jair Alexander on IR. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league. Definitely the Packers' best defensive player. And now, even for non-Packer fans, you know who Kevin King is. He's the one replacing Jair Alexander. The Bengals are going to be passing all over the Packers, putting up points. But what does that mean for this? It means that the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, they need to be aggressive for 4 quarters this week, which is something that hasn't really happened. Adams has found the end zone once this year. I think he gets back to it on Sunday. Okay, here we go. Another player who I think is going to get back on track with the touchdowns this week is Nick Chubb. He has been held out of the end zone the past 2 weeks. He plays the Chargers. Chargers just had a nice performance against the Raiders. I get it. Their weakness very obviously is their rushing defense. They allow the 3rd most rushing yards per carry at 5.3. Browns should be able to establish the run in this game. I think they're going to use both running backs quite a bit, but with Nick Chubb being the better runner, being the tougher runner, the better short yardage guy, and the fact that he's been held out of the end zone the past couple weeks, Cleveland needs to get him back on track. They need to do him, a favor here. Get him in the end zone at least once. I love the Nick Chubb touchdown on its own. Nick Chubb touchdown minus 125. It's a pretty easy bet. Okay, now we're about to get a little bit riskier. I still think this is a sure bet, but it's without a doubt riskier. It's Damien Harris versus the Houston Texans. Damien Harris has had back-to-back terrible matchups. I mean, the Saints front seven's legit, and then he played the Buccaneers last week, and you don't need me to tell you how good that front seven is. This week against Houston, obviously much easier. Yes, it's a little risky because the New England offensive line's pretty much completely new this week. Like no one's back. Injuries, COVID, yada, yada. It's a mess up front. Still, Patriots are heavily favored. The Patriots should be able to move the ball up and down on the Texans, even if it's through the air. Because once they get into the red zone, that's the money area for Damien Harris. He leads the team by far in the red zone for carries. He has 7 carries in the red zone. No other running back has more than 2. He's going to get his number called once they get in there. And it just feels like one of those Patriots running back games that we see every year where the running back, even if it's a not very efficient day, they may fall in the end zone 2-3 times. Like it just feels like that kind of game. So I'm jumping aboard Damien Harris this week for sure. And for him to score a touchdown is minus 111. So a little riskier, but I like it a lot. Okay, 2 left on our regular parlay here. And then I have a little sneaky one at the end, which I like a lot. And that's what's going to give the parlay massive odds if you want that. Otherwise, still pretty solid odds regardless. But this next one is, we're going to know if he scores a touchdown or not right away. It's Kyle Pitts playing over in London to start NFL Sunday right away. The Falcons, man. Falcons are bad. And on top of that, they have no Calvin Ridley this week. They have no Russell Gage this week. They seem hesitant to give Cordell Patterson more snaps. Is that because he's too good and they need to get that first overall pick? Maybe. But they've been really limiting his snaps. Even with him getting 3 touchdowns last week, he didn't play that much. And on top of that, now let's just say they do give Cordell Patterson more snaps since they have no wide receivers. When has Cordell Patterson been the worst in his entire NFL career? It's when teams played him as a traditional wide receiver. So even if he gets more snaps this game, I don't necessarily love it. Kyle Pitts, on the other hand, he was hyped up, almost touted the best tight end in NFL history on draft day already. I like him. He certainly hasn't shown up yet, but he's been getting the targets, and he's second on the team in red zone targets behind only Calvin Ridley. He has 6. He's going to see a bunch of red zone targets again this week. Good matchup versus the Jets. I like it all. And Kyle Pitts should have a massive game, like yardage, catches, targets, all of that. And I would assume, given that red zone usage, that it also results in at least 1 touchdown. The individual odds on that Kyle Pitts touchdown is plus 140, so that's definitely a nice one to bet on its own as well. So we went from the first game of NFL Sunday. We'll go to the last game of NFL Sunday for this last pick in the main parlay here. Zach Moss against the Kansas City Chiefs. For some reason, this is plus 150, and I don't know why. I'm really figuring it out. I don't know why it would be plus 150. This matchup, Bills Chiefs, obviously highest projected total of the entire week at 56. So there's going to be a lot of scoring. And if there's a lot of scoring from Buffalo, it seems like Zach Moss is going to be involved one way or another. He's played 3 games this season. He's scored in every single one. He has 3 rushing touchdowns. He has a receiving touchdown. He is the favorite running back in the red zone for sure. And he's going to continue to get those opportunities when they get in close. So if the Bills are going to score a bunch, and especially if they're going to run the ball to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, I love Zach Moss this week. This seems like a really easy bet for plus 150. I don't get it. So those were 6 touchdowns to parlay together this week on Bovada, plus 4,496. In other words, a $10 bet would return $459.60. However, I said I had a sneaky one. I said I had one more, and this 7th touchdown would bring the odds of this parlay to plus, hold on to your seat, plus 18,286. Why? Well, because that player is Cole Kmet, tight end for the Chicago Bears. Now, yes, this is extremely risky. Like, he hasn't gotten targets this year. However, you'd be surprised to know that he played the 2nd largest snap share of any offensive player last week. Skill position, obviously, we're not talking quarterbacks. but he came off the field one play. You know, I mean, he doesn't have any competition behind him. It's Jimmy Graham who can't block, run, barely stand up. Like Cole Kmet is the dude. He is very, very good at football. We see the Bears getting better under Bill Lazor and Justin Fields getting more comfortable. This week they play the Raiders. The Raiders have just given up two massive tight end performances back to back. Gesicki for the Dolphins had 10 catches for 80-something yards. Last week, Jared Cook led the team in yards. He scored a touchdown. Donald Parham scored a touchdown. So you had 2 touchdowns last week to tight ends. I think Cole Kmet can do it again this week. Matt Nagy also came out yesterday saying the tight end needs to get more involved in this offense, and I couldn't agree more. Like, a big athletic option for Justin Fields seems like the best case scenario. Work that underneath. That opens up the overtop shots. The Raiders are giving up production to the tight end position clearly. So let's get Cole Kmet in the end zone. That 7th touchdown, like I said, would bring it to plus 18,286. So $10 bet wins $1,838.60. If you don't want to put $10 on it, I get it. But even putting $1 on it is definitely worth it. Over almost $200 of profit from one single dollar. I think it's worth it. Let me know if you're going to run this parlay. Let me know what your favorite bets of the weekend are, what your predictions for the weekend are. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and good luck this Sunday.